If I offered you $1,000,000 cash right now, who here would say yes? All right, keep your hands up. But here's the catch. You'll never be able to experience peace ever again. Would you still want it? All right, interesting. We just discovered in less than 25 seconds that peace is worth to you more than $1,000,000. But I know what you're all thinking. Why can't I have both? Peace and success. So that's what we're going to discover today by discovering the secret practice that world-class athletes, creative geniuses, and successful entrepreneurs use to unlock unshakable peace and to achieve their true potential. So let's start where this quest began for me. So back in high school, I was the class clown. And my daily to-do list was pretty simple. Find the prey, make fun of them, and get the class to laugh. I was pretty good at what I do. But what I didn't expect was that one day my best friends would be pointing fingers at me and start to laugh hysterically. So I came up to them and I said, "What's up?" And they said, and they said something that completely changed my life. They said, "Do you know how ugly you are?" At that moment, I stood with a poker face, legs on the table, and all the most pretty girls of the class stood around me and started debating with them on how attractive I was. Okay, that was a lie. That never happened. What actually happened was that I felt stabbed. It triggered a deep feeling of shame and insecurity within me and totally shattered my self-worth. Seriously, it got so bad one day I locked myself in my room and started crying because I couldn't take the pain anymore. So out of desperation, I asked myself what would turn out to be one of the most powerful questions of my life. How do you stop the suffering? How do you finally find peace being who you are? So then this started my quest. I tried everything. I read every book on self-improvement. I became a productivity freak, and I started training like David Goggins. I did everything to become as successful as possible, so no one could deny my worth. But I didn't have peace yet. Yet I was trying. But then one day, just before my best friend's grandma passes away, she offers him a book on spirituality, which he then recommends to me. I read it, and suddenly, I felt something I've never felt before. A glimpse of peace. From then on, I was hooked. This was the spiritual hit I needed to take my spiritual journey seriously. Before that, I used to meditate on and off, pray on and off, but for years. But then, that's when I took my meditation practice and it became a religious practice that I did every day, every morning for 15 to 45 minutes. And I started to see some pretty remarkable benefits. One day, it was COVID, and I was scrolling on TikTok, who wasn't, and I saw this video that really inspired me. So I had this calm, intuitive feeling that said, grab your camera and film your own. And so I did. I followed my heart, and not only did it change my life, but it changed the life of over 2.3 million followers across social media. But then, something even crazier happened. One day during my final exam week in the UK, I was studying 10 to 12 hours a day for 2 months, and I had enough. I was extremely pissed, stressed, and overthinking everything. But I somehow I was able to push myself to go to the library. And just before entering, I see this beautiful garden with a tree. And so I get an intuition that says, relax, meditate, and come back to your center. So I did. I sat under the tree in the meditation pose, and I started breathing in and out. And slowly the voice inside my mind started to quiet down till it was pure silence. There was a silent peace. And in that silent peace, I heard the whisper of my intuition again that said, open your heart. And so I did. And it felt like the flowering of my soul. I felt reborn. See, I used to have a resting, angry face before. That turned into an uncontrollable smile of bliss. I opened my eyes and I looked at strangers with pure love. Everything felt new, the trees, the grass, the flowers. But then the craziest moment to this day in my entire life happened. This orange bird jumps in front of me, then jumps on my knee and starts looking at me in awe. And I look at him in awe. And he stood there for 30 seconds. In my mind, I was like, did I just unlock a cheat code to life? What is happening? What in the world is happening here? But that's when it hit me. That bird wasn't trying to become free. He was already free by nature. And here's the priceless truth I discovered in that precious moment. You cannot build inner peace or inner freedom or inner love. Because when your mind quiets down and when you open your heart, you'll realize that's who you've been all along. Pure consciousness. Let me give you a simple metaphor so it can make more sense. It's like the sun. It's always shining. Sometimes there's clouds, thoughts, emotions that come over it. But what stillness does is that it helps to clear the clouds so that the light of your soul can shine through again. So you return to your essential nature, which is pure joy, pure love, and pure bliss. And maybe, just maybe, by doing so, you will be changed by understanding, by grasping what Jesus meant when he said, the kingdom of God is within you. I stood up from this meditation light as a feather. I felt fully energized and I completed all my assignments and passed the semester. Now, before we jump into the science of stillness, I'd love to invite you all to a short moment of stillness, like the one I experienced under the tree. So what I want you to do now, I'm going to guide you through a small meditation. You're going to close your eyes, put your hand on your heart, even though it sounds a bit weird and etc., but whatever. You put your hands on your heart, and what we're going to do is we're going to breathe in for 4 seconds, hold, breathe out for 6 seconds, and fully relax, okay? So we're going to start. Close your eyes. Breathe in through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. Breathe out for 6 seconds through your mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 more. Breathe in through the nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. Breathe out for 6 seconds. Fully relax. Last one. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. Breathe out for 6 seconds and fully let go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, when you're ready, gently open your eyes. That moment of silence we just touched, it's not just spiritual, it's biological. You're not just calming your thoughts, you're literally resetting your entire system. Your body activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which literally moves you from fight or flight into a state of rest and digest, back to your inner balance. Your brain waves move from beta to alpha and sometimes to theta, helping you unlock deeper states of intuition, creativity, and where you can tap into your genius flow states. And your heart's rhythm becomes harmonious. Your heart sends signals to your brain that sharpens focus, calms stress, and unlock your peak performance. This is what scientists call heart-brain coherence, but I call it something simpler: alignment. The moment where your brain, where your mind, body, and soul stop fighting each other and start serving each other. That's when athletes enter flow states and achieve remarkable performances. That's the moment where creatives download genius ideas and create masterpieces. That's the moment when entrepreneurs make intuitive decisions that create breakthroughs in innovation. Stillness is not the absence of action. It's actually the birthplace of aligned action, where your heart and brain start finally working together, where intuition guides and logic executes, where your choices move you naturally towards your highest potential. And that's where you start accomplishing your life's true purpose. But how does that apply in real life, right? That's the question we all have in mind. When you lead from shame, you're in survival mode. We've all been there, where you make fear-based decisions, you stress every step along the way, and you suffer, and you make everyone around you suffer in the process. When you lead from stillness, you're in alignment. You make authentic decisions. You move with unshakable peace, power, and courage that lights up everyone you meet. And you flow and live to your true potential. So if you want to live a life of deep bliss and unlock your true potential, it starts with a choice. A choice you can make now to start practicing stillness. I'd like to invite you all to run a simple experiment for the next 90 days called the 5 Minute of Stillness. Set aside 5 minutes every morning where you will sit, relax, and notice your breath in the present moment. What you'll realize is that the more you do it, the more these thoughts, these clouds, start to clear. And the sun, the pure consciousness, will shine brighter every time. Until one day it shines so bright that it lights up everything you do. And maybe, just maybe, you'll feel as light as the orange bird that landed on my knee. Thank you.